Hey everyone, welcome to my flight deck. Captain Mike here. I'm going to take a quick look at traffic global just to make sure that the aircraft aren't spawning on top of the end user. I have another update to look at. And I'm also going to run a short flight. I'm going to run an Alaska Airlines flight number 380, with nonstop service from Fairbanks, Alaska to Anchorage. Everything's programmed in. We're all set, ready to go pretty much. I just have to call for push once we button everything up. So, how about we get started? Let's get these doors buttoned up. And how about we get on APU power? And we'll call for push by the time they get here.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
I have to lower those volumes again. It's early morning, a little bit of rain out there. You can see some puddles on the ground. Not all that nice, but I figure this time of the morning should look real pretty with those clouds out there, so we'll see. Switch still gives me trouble.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
See, you didn't ask me about the parking brake, which is interesting. And let's get on APU power and make sure we're disconnected from the gate. And we are. Okay, we should be pretty much good to go. Yeah. This flight's just over an hour. It's an hour and 5 minutes it's showing. We've got flight level 390. We're not going to be up there very long.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, let me have this. And I'll give you the engine data. Pack switches are off, any collision light is on, and we're starting number 2. We've got runway 2 left on the way out, and we've got, well, we're expecting 33 on the way in.
Taxi Viking, via Tango, Southwest 388.
So there was no aircraft in our parking space along with us, so that definitely seems to be fixed in traffic global. And the AI aircraft also seem to recognize my aircraft and will respect it now, won't run right through it. And starting number 1.
Behind the Omni with the United 270.
So far, the Zevo mod and X-Plane Beta 7 have been playing beautifully together.
Ground FedEx 694 heavy with the pushback.
FedEx 694 heavy, ground, hold the push.
Hold push.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Southwest 1583, go Charlie 11.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Papa Echo Tango Alpha the ramp, Southwest 1583.
And let's see. Fuel lever is idle to 10th. Engine generator switches are on. AC voltmeter selector is on Gen 1. Propane switches are on. Engine wing, any ice is required. They're off right now. Hydraulic pumps A and B electric are on. Bleed air panel is set. Exterior lights, well, once they disconnect.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Okay, APU is needed. It's off. Master caution, we already did a recall. Flaps, we'll set the flaps for takeoff and we'll do the taxi light as well. Transponder is set for TA and auto. Weather radar is set to auto and flight controls. Let me give you that now.
Pushback car discretion, Southwest 1912.
Okay, and I'm going to take that back. And we've got runway 2 left. Alright, let's get on out of here. The clouds look actually real nice here early in the morning. You can see a few drops hitting the windscreen here. And traffic global, the aircraft just look amazing. I've got my settings up full, with the exception of AA and AF. That's one notch from full right. I guess I should have made the left there. This should go down. Yeah.
Runway 28, taxi via Bravo. Runway 28, taxi via Bravo.
For default airport, it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the tower. Wow, that rising sun looks really great. You almost have to squint.
Delta 2641, taxi off the 288. Delta 2641, runway 28, taxi the uniform behind Southwest there.
Now, since Beta 7 was installed, I've been having basically an issue where the aircraft's get really pushed around with minimal winds. We'll see what today's flight's going to bring.
Ground Southwest 1716, looking to push off Alpha 1 with whiskey.
Looks like the airport's pretty quiet this morning.
Southwest 1716.
I've removed X-Plane 11 from my computers. They're not in here anymore. So I have a ton of room. But I have to say that I'm really not seeing anything that I'd want to put in. You can see the changing of the trees, the colors. Beautiful. Up close you can actually see the bark on the trees. And Traffic Global just dresses up these airports beautifully.
Expect to follow FedEx, Towers 194. Okay, we'll expect to follow FedEx and Tower 194, taxi to the uniform, United 27.
Yeah, for a default airport, really looks good.
Southwest 453, you'd like to push off Bravo 14 with whiskey. 453 ground, push approved. At this point, those do not believe or.
I've been fooling around with my NVIDIA settings. And what I found so far, which I'm using right now, is I have VSync off on all these computers. And it seems to give me the smoothest performance.
Clear Romeo going to Bravo 9.
1548 ground, taxi to the PAFA short of Echo for now, traffic's blocking your gate.
PAFA short of Echo for now, sounds good.
And let's go to tower.
Tower, good air, Canada 465 on the ILS 24 left.
Air Canada 738, exit Delta 6, cross runway 24 right.
Across 24 right, Air Canada 730.
Looks like the rain's picked up a little bit.
Air Canada 465, tower, caution wind, turbulence, 777 landed ahead, wind 33013 knots, clear to line runway 24 left.
24 left, and just as a little note, right on Current, 2,000 feet, there's a balloon hanging out there.
Air Canada 465, sir.
Alright.
And Midland traffic, this is Delta Mike Sierra.
Yeah. Landing lights, runway turn off lights, you're off, engine start select is, you're on. Strobe steady, let them know. Auto throttle. TARA. Antenna notifications complete. Exterior lights is needed. Engine start select is the continuous. Auto throttle is armed. Transponder TARA. Auto parking brake release. Throttles to 40%. And we're out of here. Okay, give me. Approval 4. Alright. Catch you again, Fairbanks. I will say that the early morning and the dusk lighting does put an additional hit on these visual screens. I mean, the sun just looks fantastic over that left screen. The shine coming off the water on the runway looks nice. I'm getting some stutters though. But with the lighting, the clouds, early morning, I'm not surprised. Bad stutters on that left one. Alright, so we're at 40%. Stabilized. Thrust is set. Airspeed is active.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle over.
V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Western 266 down, line up 4, runway 24 right.
400.
Delta 4 and continue across runway 24 right with those selected.
Delta 4 and across 24 right.
1,000.
Western 266, wind 33016 knots, for takeoff, going to right.
For takeoff 24 right, Western 266.
Can feel that push. Can feel that push.
Parallel flare 102.
Flaps 1. That view is amazing.
Flare 102, turn, good evening, wind 33016 3013, non-cleared line runway 24 left.
Clear line 24 left, clear 1 of your next.
What an amazing view. Flaps up. Look at all those trees. Wow.
Midland traffic, Golf Osprey, November, backtracking 34.
Now we got a 12-knot wind pushing us. Really pushing us. Oh, the clouds look fantastic. All right, Zebo, all you. Let's see what you got. Oh yeah, we're getting beat up pretty good. 21-knot crosswind hitting us. Oh, look like the clouds are off a little bit here. That's 10,000. Pressurization panel looking good. So's the temperature. What do we got? Autopilot, flight attendant notification, cabin pressurization monitor. Engine bleeds are on, tach switches are auto, APU is off. Lights as needed, and we're set.
Midland traffic, Golf Yankee, overhead the field to join a mid-left downwind with the traffic in front of me in sight.
And landing gear. Next up is 18,000. The clouds look fantastic. I don't know what's going on with that monitor there, though. Looks like it's off an update on the weather. But they do look nice. There is still that shimmer going on there, though. And a whole lot of stepping going on. You know, they get those jagged edges out in the distance. Up close, they look fantastic. And we're going 198. And we're inbound hop.
Traffic, RV7, crossing over the departure.
And
Runway 7 for the downwind.
10-9, we've got 10-9 on the fuel. We've got 107 miles to top of climb, 242 miles to Anchorage. Yeah, there's something weird going on there. Looks like the clouds are starting to catch up with the rest of the setup.
RV left base, 07.
And we got a 37-knot headwind. We are getting pushed around, but I think we are getting pushed around a bit too much. All in all, so far, Zebo's been real good, right on the money. And how about we change to...
Departure engine.
That should be up. And standard pressure. But we're not going to let them out of their seats just yet, not with all this bumping going on. Gonna say that that frequency was dead.
Have a nice evening there, ma'am. We'll see you.
So you got some flickering in the clouds going on in the distance there. You should be able to see it. It's the first time I've seen it that bad, though. Wonder if it has something to do with the early morning lighting. And it seems the right monitor is worse than the left and the center. It must be whatever direction the sun's coming in, because it's definitely affecting those clouds. They don't look nowhere near as nice as this. They look like little square boxes inside those big puffy clouds that make them up.
28 wise, Southwest 21, thank you.
Another 10 miles to Hop, and another 18 on, what is that, Puvo? And that puts us at the end of our departure from Fairbanks.
2677
Southwest 2657.
Oh, it's nice that flash had stopped.
Showing 600, center descending the Ola 1 arrival, maintain 10,000. My showing 600, I'm sorry. I'm not showing that you have the Ola 1 arrival. To verify you have the Ola, after a 4, you have the Ola 1 arrival.
Remember, we're in the Ola 1 arrival. We're taking arrival position.
Actually, 600. The Ola 1 arrival.
So, at Hop, if we take a look at our fuel, our total fuel is 10.1. And if we take a look at Hop, we should have 10. And we're coming up on Hop now, so the fuel is looking just fine. Pressurization panel's looking good, and the temperature back there is looking nice and comfortable.
Southwest 670, looking for 390 for a fun. Southwest 670, climb maintain level 390. Climb maintain level 390, Southwest 670. Southwest 2094 with you 240.
All in all, nice smooth ride from Zebo. There's some mountains peeking in there between the clouds. Don't think you're going to be able to see it though. But right down here in the front. Most of it looks nice, and then there's like one that looks kind of like a pyramid. Needs a little bit of work. Looks like there's some stutters going on there as well. But I am getting 30 frames. Look at that swing. Top of climb in 62 miles. Now with this headwind, that might change. Yeah, it went down to 57, 54. Yeah. We've been fighting a headwind the whole way so far.
0421 Bravo Victor, center, 2975.
Don't mind the clear air turbulence, but it just seems like it's too much. I thought it was coming from XP Realistic, but I did some changes and I even disabled it no change. So it's got to be coming from X-Plane 11. And I believe that one of my users that was looking at one of my other videos has since confirmed that as well, that it wasn't coming from XP Realistic. So approval 9.5 on the fuel, and we're at 9.6. We're looking good. And 176. Yeah, you can see our TC and our TD, top of climb and top of descent on the on your nav display there. So we're not going to be up 39,000 feet all that long. And that basically puts us at the end of the SID, or the departure out of Fairbanks. So you got 35 miles of top of climb and 186 miles to Anchorage. And we've been getting beat up the entire ride. This swinging has been hitting us the whole way. And we've been fighting a headwind, now just about 100 miles an hour. So I don't think they're going to be getting out of their seats this ride. It's been one bumpy mess, that's for sure. And fighting that headwind, you can see we're not making up much ground. We're still looking at 37 miles at top of climb. What do you got? Another 10, 11 miles? Top of climb and 155 to Anchorage. We're at 8.6 on the fuel. We should have 7.5 by the time we get to, what was that, Tika?
That was 1485 with the oxygen and a half miles you said.
That's 1485, center route.
The rocket don't seem that bad. How about we give it a shot, try it? We'll see. Let him run around. Still getting pushed a bit.
1,000 to go.
Bet we let them know.
4 golf X-ray contact the first one, 24.35.
2435.
And we've got 147 miles to go. So we got about a half hour to go. We're looking at 1641 and 1613 right now.
Everyone, Bravo, Zulu navigation, contact my first one, 25.3.
2530 navigation, Vanessa 3 Bravo, thank you, ma'am, good day.
Good day.
Well, that pretty much puts us at cruise. I don't know what else there's going to be to see up here. Pretty much not much from what I'm seeing out here. So I'll catch you on the back end. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at some charts.
12435, 5 Golf X-ray.
Everyone, as you can see, we've started our descent into Anchorage, and I've got the Tagger 8 chart up on the right for you there. We are 90 miles out, and this flight has been right on the money. TKA 7.8 on the fuel is what we should have. And if we take a look here, we have 7.9 and 7.9. So we're looking good. And we're coming down nicely. Looking at a $180. Zebo has performed beautifully this entire ride. So we're inbound Tagger, and then from there we would get vectors. So, but I've got everything set up in here. We're going to swing around and come in at 33. I checked with, what was that, Flight Radar 24, and that's what they're using in the real world.
Okay, heading 260 and descend to flight level 200. That was.
If I'm flying in, dig in.
3404, climate through 11,000 for level 230.
Contact 404, turn around.
Okay, bleed air panel set to auto pressurization. Panel landing altitude is set. Passenger signs are on. Auto brake selector is set. Flight instruments and radios are set. Altimeter is set for local QNH. Recall. And we've got our landing data VREF at minimums. Up next, 10,000.
Here from Sierra, San Diego, 29999.
999, 70 to 4 for Sierra.
That's 10,000. You're good, you're good. We are on terrain. Exterior lights, engine start selectors, and EFIS panel set to terrain, which it is. Next is final approach, attendant, speed brake, landing gear, and flaps.
12,000 climbing 230 via the Zoo 2.
That was 2094 up center gauge. Southwest 742, cross 60, outer below 14,000, descend and maintain 12,000, the San Diego altimeter 29er.
17, 12,000, outer below 14,000, southwest.
1,000 to go. 1,000 to go. 1,000 to go.
Board descent via the Lucky 1, except maintain 12,000, the San Diego altimeter 29er.
It's pretty thick right now. And flaps 1. Let's start slowing down, shall we?
1,000 to go.
Max is 210, right? Yep.
1,000 to go.
Let's go right to 5.
contact center
1,000 to go.
167, have a good day.
1,000 to go.
Look at that swing. We're really getting pushed. In 10 on the flaps. We are really getting pushed.
11.24, flight level 230.
Correction, Delta 2546, center, good evening.
Hello.
1,000 to go.
Southwest 1270.
1,000 to go.
The electric one.
Southwest 1270, yes, center, good evening.
1,000 to go.
We are swinging like 20 degrees, 10 degrees.
1,000 to
The
go.
electric one should maintain 10,000.
Southwest 742, contact approach 124.35, have a good day.
2435, see you later, Southwest. 742.
1,000 to go.
Wow. Yeah, they really need to do something about this turbulence. That is just way too much.
LA Center American 480 with you, passing 10.8 for 190.
American 480, center, good evening, and I am showing flight level 190 is final today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. We just had there's a maintenance thing.
1,000 to go.
Can't go higher today.
2,500.
Delta 884, reduce to 270 knots for spacing into San Diego.
Going 270 knots, 881.
See, the wind is really whipping us. Big time.
Following 07, the San Diego altimeter 29er, 9er.
999er, Mahalo 807.
See, both performing rather well. Let's get that gear down. My bird.
And American 480, clear direct bar, Bravo Zulu Alpha.
Bravo Zulu Alpha, American.
Flaps 15. Ooh, look at that wind pushing.
124.35.
Man.
2435, Alaska 339, good day.
Easy.
Delta 2546, contact
Wow.
26.77, good day.
This is not going to be pretty. Be 25.
Delta 979 LA Center, clear direct bar, Bravo Zulu Alpha, Honda maintain level 270.
And 30.
Direct bar, final 270, Southwest 979. Mahalo 807, contact approach 125.3. 125.3, Mahalo 807.
Give me this throttle. I don't know why they're fighting me.
American 1243 checking on descending via the Lucky, step down to 240 and
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
American 1243, send me the Lucky, you want to accept maintain 10,000.
Wow.
down to 1.
This is
via the Lucky.
wicked.
Sorry, give me that auxiliary again, American 1243.
I still don't have a line of sight on anything yet.
Keep the 270 knots.
Alright, 270 knots, 2999 down to 10,000.
Looks like we're trying to break through here.
1,000.
I'm getting something.
Right behind you, frontier flight 1195, level, I'm starting to descend, 319240 on the Lucky arrival.
500.
Oh, I got the runway.
Approaching decision 100.
Frontier 1195, welcome to send me the Lucky 178, 10,000 and 370 knots.
Landing.
270 knots, 10,000, descend me the Lucky arrival, frontier flight 1195, welcome, thanks.
200.
Wow. wicked. Man, if you want to try something today, go to Alaska. Woo-hoo, come into Anchorage. Man.
100.
Afternoon, Elliot out of 710, almost 240. 710, center, good afternoon. After Momar,
40,
direct Tracy,
30,
and maintain 300 on
10.
After Momar, direct Tracy.
Ooh-wee.
Delta 884, contact approach 124.35, connect 2435, Delta 884, connect.
That was some approach. No, we're not making that.
Plane level 230.
Delta 9011, center, good evening.
That was wicked.
Southwest 9011, 11-2, plane level 230.
You can go to TA, you can go to
When you get a moment, we'd like to change our flight when it's going off.
test.
Southwest 9011.
Southwest 9011, Roger. What do you want to do?
We'd like to go from here to Imperial, and then
That was some ride.
San Simone, El Paso.
That was a white knuckle job.
Fusco, and then Dillo Lakes number 2 to Austin.
Alright, Southwest 9011 for now. After George, you click direct bar, Bravo Zulu Alpha. Then J2 to Gila Bend, Golf Bravo November, and then we'll get the rest of the route for you right now.
Alright, going to Bard right now after George, and then J2 to Gila Bend, Southwest 91. Thank you.
Maintain 1-2000, the San Diego altimeter 2999. South 60 at 1-2000, 710.
That was some flight. As you can see, the vehicles are still in the air on the visual computers. That doesn't happen on the server computer.
Intel 9011, after Gila Bend, cleared J50 to El Paso, then direct to Dillo.
J50 El Paso after Gila Bend, and then to Dillo. That's easy. Southwest 9011. Thank you.
That was some approach and landing. Man. I think my hands are shaking now from the approach and landing and not from the medication. There we got North Terminal. Take a look and see what these buildings look like. Seeing how they're to another default airport. So far, they've been looking real nice.
United 1277, contact center on 128.6.
26, 12.
Should be long enough.
United 2172, descendant Palace.
Another good ride, Seaball.
310.
Palace discretion to 310, United 2172.
Terminal should be off to the left here. Guess we could take Mike in.
Gauge flying to Mexico 43, maintain 300.
A little bit of a stutter going on there in the front.
300 knots, delete the speed, American 1243, go fast.
50 knots.
250 knots, Frontier Flight 1195.
United 710, maintain 270 knots and turn 20 degrees left.
You know what I should do?
70 and 20 degrees left.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a spot that's got an aircraft in it and see if it's going to disappear before we touch it. How about that?
Region 8085 is requesting lower.
Now we take one of these Alaska Airlines aircraft over here. Grab one of their spots.
Southwest 9011, contact center 126.77, good day.
2677, Southwest 9011, thank you.
Good evening, United 1277 at a 340, descended via the OLA, except maintain 240.
United 1277, offender, good evening. Descend via the OLA 1, except maintain 12000, Carl Flight altimeter 2997.
Okay, descend via the OLA, except maintain 12,000 now, and 2997, United 1277.
Well, they've got a mix of buildings here a little bit.
Southwest 1270, contact approach 124.35, okay.
24th is South.
Doesn't look that bad. A little bit of stutter going on there though. But with the amount of clouds that are in the area, I don't think I'm all that surprised. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pick... How about we're going to take you. See if he's going to move for us. I could go to that empty spot, but I want to make sure that Traffic Global is working on the back end as well as in the front. That aircraft should disappear and give us that spot once we get close enough.
United 710, with direct Husker. Husker, United 710. And American 1243, thanks for the help. Resume the public speeds at Jack.
Public speeds at Jack, American 1243.
The puddles of rain look rather nice. There you go, he disappeared for us. A little close though, would be nice if it happened a little further back. But it is working and they do recognize the aircraft now. Park and brake is set. Anti-collision, no smoking seatbelt sign, ground services. Chocks are in position. Those doors open. Ground power is available. And we're on ground air.
American 1243, contact center 128.
Stand by and off. Alright, electrical power, APU on ground, we're on ground. Bleed panel, we're set for unconditioned air. Off, auto open. Off, auto open. Fuel levers to cut off, anti-collision lights off, passenger sides are off. Fuel pump switches are off, electrical panel checks set galley power to off, galley power is off. Window heat switches are off, hydraulic pump switches are off. Exterior lights as needed, we've got logo and position. Flight director switches are off, chocks in position, parking brake is off. And how about we shut down completely? Somebody gets something to eat, and then maybe I'll come to another flight today. Maybe I'll stream that one. So IRS select is to off. Emergency exit lights off. Exterior lights are off. Oops. Bleed air panel set for unconditioned air, which we already are. Engine start selector switch to both. APU or ground power disconnect. We'll disconnect from ground power. DCAC selectors to standby power. Standby power. Standby power. And battery switch off. And that's a wrap. And that was Alaska Airlines Flight 380 from Fairbanks to Anchorage. I hope you enjoyed the flight. The approach and the landing was rather interesting. For me, anyway. I don't know what it looked like in the camera, but it was a little white-knuckle job for me. So, again, I hope you enjoyed the flight, and I'll catch you on the next run. Maybe I get to stream the next one today. All right. Take care.